Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum. Welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to take a look at the West Indies playing 11 for their first T20 match, World Cup match against Scotland, 12 midnight Eastern Caribbean time, 11 p.m. in Jamaica. This is our team. We may not agree with the selection. We would have persons here that we don't think that they should have been there. You do not think that they should have been there. Your favorites have not been selected, but this is our team. Please let us support the team. I am Simmons out. I think that Simmons should not be the coach of this World Cup team. He should have resigned or be fired as the West Indies white ball coach a long time ago. But he is the coach, and I have to support the coach. Now, depending on the result at the World Cup, I will either call for his dismissal or his resignation, or that he should stay. Because if West Indies should go on and win the World Cup, there is no way that we can ask for the coach to be fired. But if they came third or fourth in their group, in this first round group, then there's all indication that Simmons has to go. There's no doubt about it. I am Simmons out. But he's the coach, and I'm going to support the coach for the World Cup. So I am backing Simmons for the World Cup. I am giving him whatsoever support that he needs for the World Cup. And it's the same way that I'm going to support all the players that are there. Whether or not I agree with the selection of the players, they are there and they are representing us, and we should support them. So I'm calling upon the members of this wonderful community to please let us put our support behind the West Indies team at the World Cup and cheer them on. Let us do that. They are our team, and they are the only team that is generic to us, that are a part of us, that we have relatives and friends and family who may know members of this team. So please, let us support this team. We may not agree with the selection of the squad, but it is the squad that is representing us, and please let us support this team. Now, I'm going to choose the 11 that should start in the match against Scotland, 11 p.m. Jamaica time, 12 midnight Eastern Caribbean time, Sunday night. That's when our first World Cup match will be played against Scotland. Number one, at the top of the order, most will agree with me that Brandon King should open the innings. He have done well so far, and on this tour of Australia, in those two matches against Australia, he was the most assured of our batsmen. He looked the class batsman in the team. He made some good runs in the second match. He came off a very impressive CPL where he was his top run getter. So most will agree with me that Brandon King should open the innings. I think it is crazy to have Brandon King batting at number 3 when he was the leading run getter in the CPL opening the innings. In the T20, the final T20 against New Zealand at Jamaica, Brandon King was the top scorer and carried the team to victory opening the innings. So I think, and most will agree with me, that Brandon King should be the bat at number 1. He should be the first person on that team to open the innings. So having Brandon King at number 1, who will accompany Brandon King to open the innings? Now, there are 3 candidates. There are Johnson Charles, Evan Lewis, and Kyle Myers. Now, I would be surprised if Evan Lewis is asked to open the innings, frankly, because if the West Indies selectors, if the West Indies coach were planning to have Evan Lewis open the innings in this World Cup, why didn't he play those 2 T20 internationals against Australia? It would be unfair to Evan Lewis, having no match, 1 match against the UAE. He made either 1 or 2, I don't quite remember. But if it was the intention of the West Indies selectors to have Edwin Lewis to open the innings with Brandon King at the World Cup, he should have opened in those 2 matches against Australia. Mark you, Edwin Lewis have a strike rate of 155.51 and an average of 30.9. So that's good. That's a top-class batsman. That's a top-class international batsman. Most teams will want someone like Edwin Lewis with that statistics in their team. But why did the West Indies selectors, why did the West Indies management down in Australia didn't ask him to open in those 2 matches against Australia? If their intention was to play him in the World Cup, he should have opened in those 2 matches. So I don't think that Edwin Lewis is going to get in the team. Johnson Charles was very impressive in the CPL before his injury. At the time of his injury, he was a leading runs getter. And he opened in those 2 matches against Australia. 1 match he didn't make any runs. The other match he made 39, but his strike rate was below 100. And he swings and misses at a number of balls. I'm just talking the truth. I'm talking what I saw. I love Johnson Charles. And if you look back at my own video, you will see that I wanted Johnson Charles in this squad to the World Cup. I love Johnson Charles. I have nothing against him. But I'm saying in that second match against Australia where he made 39, if you look back at it, he swings and misses a lot of balls. And his head was not in alignment with those deliveries. So I am saying that I would prefer to go with Kyle Myers. I'll go with Kyle Myers to partner Brandon King at the top of the order. There is a case for Johnson Charles to bat at number 6. That is, in my opinion, there is a case for Johnson Charles to bat at number 6. But right now, I'm going with Kyle Myers to partner Brandon King at the top of the order. At number 3, I would have Shamar Brooks. Now, before the CPL started, I stated quite clearly that Shamar Brooks have a strike rate of less than 100, and that cannot win T20 matches. I stated that quite clearly. In the last match against New Zealand, he made 50, but the strike rate was less than 100. I think his international strike rate is 107. His international strike rate is 107. If I said less than 100 earlier, I apologize. It's 107. So before the CPL, I said that if Shamar Brooks want to be a part of the West Indies squad, he need to lift his strike rate in the CPL to 130. That's what I said before the CPL. Now, in his first 3 CPL matches, he failed. He made score of 1-0-0, and the Jamaica Tallawahs dropped him for the 4th match. It was after the 4th match that the West Indies selectors selected the squad for the World Cup. He was left out. Yes, Shamar Brooks was left out, and I did not have an issue with that because he failed in his 3 matches. His strike rate is 107, so no problem there. However, a place opened up, and it so happened that in Shamar Brooks' last 3 matches in the IPL, he scored over 200 runs for the Jamaican Tallawahs at an amazing strike rate of 160 plus. So he performed scoring over 200 runs in 3 matches with a strike rate of 160 plus. Shamar Brooks is a classical batsman, and if you watch that century that he scored against the Guyana Amazon Warriors in that second qualifiers in the CPL, you will see a class batsman. It was superb. And I would have Shamar Brooks at number 3 in this West Indies lineup for the first World Cup match against Scotland. So Brandon King, Kyle Myers, Shamar Brooks at number 3. Number 4 is the captain. Well, he's the captain. He has to play. There are a number of persons are saying that that the captain, Nicholas Pooran form, has fallen off in the last few months since he became captain. But he's the captain, so he's going to play. So I'm going to bat him at number 4. There's no doubt that he's a quality batsman. And in the last warm-up match against the UAE, He made 46 from 31 deliveries. He hit 5 sixes. So that means he's getting into some type of form, and we hope that he will bring this form in the match against Scotland, because Scotland is not a walkover. We should not think that Scotland is a walkover. So Pooran will bat at number 4. At number 5 is Rovman Powell. Rovman Powell again is coming in for criticism, and we hope that he finds his best form in this World Cup, because there's a lot of criticism about Rovman Powell. These batsmen are not performing with the consistency that we expect, but they are our team, so we have to support them. It's not that we are totally happy with their performances. It's not that we are satisfied with their performances. Rovman Powell is only average 24 in T20 International, and his strike rate is only 136. So we hope that he improves on these. Now, there are question marks about his place in the team, but he is a member of the squad in Australia, and he should bat at number 5. So let's support the team. Please, I'm asking us, this might not be the squad that we want. This might not be the playing 11 that we want, but we need to support the team. At number 6, so 1 is Brandon King, 2 is Myers, 3 is Brooks, 4 is Pooran, 5 is Powell. At number 6, there's a toss-up for me between Charles and Reefer, but I think Reefer is a solid batsman. I think Reefer is highly underrated. I think he's an honest cricketer, and I would put in Reefer at number 6. Furthermore, he can bowl. And if you look back at that first T20 International against Australia last week, he made 19. His strike rate was less than 100, but he was very assured at the crease. He was not swinging and missing like some of the other batsmen. And so I would have Reefer in at number 6. Furthermore, his left arm medium pacer could come in handy, as you saw in that last warm-up match against the UAE, where he got 3 for 17 from his 4 overs. I would slot in Reefer at number 6. At number 7, obviously, is Jason Holder. There's no argument to be made there. I think most West Indian fans, 99% of West Indian fans, would go with Holder at number 7. At number 8, I would have Odin Smith. Now, interestingly, Odin Smith economy has been coming down and down since India. Against India, it had reached 11. But since that match in Fort Lauderdale, it has been coming down and down and down. And it was very impressive against Australia. He got 1 for 19 and 1 for 24. His economy right now is 9.9, so it is below 10, coming down from 11 earlier this year. And we know his ability with the bat in that first T20 against Australia also. He made 27 from 17 deliveries. So Odin Smith would slot in at number 8. And in his last 6 T20 international for the West Indies, he got 12 wickets. He's a leading West Indies wicket takers in the last 6 T20 international with 12 wickets. Akeal Hosein would bat at number 9. No doubt about that. Akeal Hosein at number 9. Akeal Hosein is the number 6th ranked T20 international bowler in the world. He's the highest ranked West Indian bowler in the world. And I want to see Akeal Hosein open the bowling, because he became number 6 opening the bowling for the West Indies. So why don't continue to use Akeal Hosein to open the bowling, where he became the number 6th ranked T20 international bowler in the world? So I would have Akeal Hosein at number 10. Again, I know that this is a non-controversial selection, because 99% of us will go with Akeal Hosein in that team. Whether he bats at 8, 9, or 10, we will go with him. Now, Joseph is the spearhead of the attack. Another certainty, another person that I think most of us agree will be in the starting 11. So Joseph is there. Whether Joseph will bat at 10 or 11, he will be in the team. The next player, now 1 slot up, and we have McCoy, Carrier, and Cottrell to fill that last bowling slot. Cottrell, as we know in the past, have gotten early wickets in the power play. And I think that is the main reason why the West Indies selected Karim on the tour to the World Cup. Sorry about that. Sorry, just a minute. Tastes very nice. I think the main reason why Cottrell is in the World Cup squad before the injury, Cottrell was the leading West Indies T20 international bowler. He tends to get wickets early in the innings. He tends to go for a lot of runs at the back end of the innings, at the slug overs. He tends to go for a lot of runs in the death. But he tends to get a lot of wickets early in the innings. And the West Indies should have been using Cottrell to bowl his 4 overs in the first 10. But they will not have been doing that. He was getting wickets in the power play. The other bowler is McCoy. McCoy, I think after McCoy getting that 6 for 17 against India, his strike rates just keep going up. It's not his strike rate, sorry. His economy keep going up, and you have not been able to reproduce that form. So I would not have McCoy in the team. The person who I would go with to play is Carrier. Carrier, I think, is the best leg spinner in the Caribbean. I don't think that these Scottish batsmen can play Carrier on those bouncy pitches in Australia. So I would have Carrier in my 11. I would leave out Cottrell, I would leave out McCoy, and I would play Carrier in my 11. So the 4 players that I will be leaving out, well, I'm not going to name those 4 players. I'm going to name my 11 because it's not that I have anything against these 4 players. It's just that these are the 11 that I've chosen to play in that first match against Scotland. I support the entire squad. I support the coach. Once again, I said, please let us support the team. It is our team. Let us support the team. Let us give them our full support. Whether we agree with the squad that have been selected, whether we have agree with the playing 11 that have been selected to play against Scotland in the first match, let us support the team. So the playing 11 for the first match against Scotland, this is the playing 11. Brandon King, Kyle Myers, Shamar Brooks, Nicholas Poran, Rovman Powell, Raymond Reefer, Jason Older, Odin Smith, Akil Hussain, Alzari Joseph, and Yannick Carrier. That's the 11 that is going to play the first T20 match in the World Cup against Scotland, starting 12 midnight Eastern Caribbean time, 11 p.m. Jamaica time. That's Sunday night. And let us support this team. As I said, Simmons' job is on the line, but for now, we have to support the coach. We have to support the coach for now. Now, there's another issue that I'd like to touch quickly on. John Campbell, I have a video there on Saturday saying that John Campbell was banned for 4 years, that the West Indies opener, John Campbell, have been banned for 4 years for anti-doping violation. Now, the chairman of the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission, JADCO, Alexander Williams, he said yesterday on radio that when the testers turn up to John Campbell's home to do the test, John Campbell basically told them to write on the paper that they did not see him. That's what Alexander Williams is saying, that John Campbell told the testers. Write on the paper that you did not see me. Very unfortunate. It was a poor decision, and I know right now he is regretting making that decision. The 4-year ban is a bit stiff, but you spread your bed, you have to lie in it. It's very unfortunate. I'm sorry that it came down to this, but it was a poor decision for John Campbell to refuse to give the testers a sample and ask them to write on the form to report that they did not see. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please slash a like on the video, share and subscribe. Remember, support the West Indies team. It is our team. And remember, the playing 11 for the first match against Scotland Sunday night, 11 p.m. Jamaica time, 12 midnight Eastern Caribbean time, will be King Myers, Brooks, Pooran, Powell, Reefer, Alder, Simit, Hussein, Carrier, and Joseph. That will be 11. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, this is Carlton Brown saying, have a great day and God bless you.